do you think of the score?
I think it was a beautiful goal by Asivar in Olympic Cup.
Welcome.
I love that intro, man.
Welcome, one and all, to
What's going on?
CLTFC Fan TV for the fans by the fans. Damn it.
Damn it.
I'm JT, still a newbie fan, representing all y'all out there who don't know that much about soccer. Hanging out with, I still can't get her, Lee, my partner in crime, my partner in doing good, family fun business and other things, watching out for some good times. And thank you so much for the second season, the first time on. And I wrote this down because I want to get it right. Ricky Wild Thing Vaughn, the vaunted VI Poleman, the nomadic blogger. I was like, Vaughn, what you up to? He's like, man, I'm just doing what I do. Thank you, Vaughn. Vaughn knows his shit, and he knows a lot
Free
of
agent. He's
shit
a free agent.
about CLTFC. Thank you for joining us. Much love.
I'm so pumped to be here, guys. You know how much fun I have with you all. Also, I've just been rocking out for 5 minutes to that intro music. So,
And isn't that good
yeah.
though, man? Seeing all those
Oh.
memories to be made, man. It makes
need
me
to
want us
pepper
to
in
have a
some-
home game this weekend.
I know, right? I need to pepper in some new stuff that I keep on. I'm like, God, I need to update it every week. I need to be on that more. Anyway,
What we say every week.
so I have this is the new thing we're doing here. This is a new thing we're doing. Not that. That's an old thing we do. A new thing we're doing, at least for me, is I just write down like up to like 20 of my thoughts about the game or anything just from my point of view. So at any point tonight, Vaughn or Lee might call out a number, or they might talk about it anyway, or someone else. So besides that, what's up?
Man, before we get going in there, right? I jumped in here and get everything ready pre live, right? And I start seeing these messages popping up, and it was kind of as I was reading through them, it was kind of funny. So I'm just gonna walk you through like about 9 of them real quick, and they're all in sequence.
Nice.
And we can enjoy the ride down the street here, right?
Yes.
So the first one is it time yet, right? And I was like, well, appreciate you jumping on early, man, being ready and all that other stuff. But then we get, well, I'm currently stuck at a red light. Don't worry about it. I got plenty of time to get to Chipotle back before the best damn YouTube show starts up. And I was like, well, that's cool, man. At least he's gonna make it. And then he was like, well, after that one red light, it was nothing but green lights all the way to Chipotle. It's like my little city wants me to get there and back way faster than expected. And I was like, well, that's cool, man. He's gonna be able to eat and just be ready to go, right? So then it's like, hey, man, my food is ordered. I'm heading home with 39 minutes to spare. No one is here yet, but I hope y'all are enjoying the trip to get the food. And I was like, I am really actually enjoying this, to be honest with you, right? And then it's like, hey, there's nothing but green lights all the way home. And I was like, man, this guy is having a great evening, man. And then it was like, just got home ready to sit, eat, and talk football with you all. Well, just me right now, but the rest will be here soon. And then it's like 20 minutes to the show and no one's here yet. So, and it was like, also, as soon as you get yourself ready to sit and watch, leave these guys a thumbs up and subscribe. So, yes, please do that if you're new here. Hit the sub button. So, but man, and then it's all the chants. He did all the chants, man. It's like,
what about the food though? Was the food good? I thought you were gonna say like,
man,
he came home and like the order was a little
coming
wrong.
and go, man. I'm loving it, man. I'm loving it. So, yeah, that was good stuff, man. So, I really appreciate that, man. I enjoyed reading that. And I
love it.
Yes.
That
So
could be a
yes,
new
the band
feature.
is back, and JT.
I'm
Yes.
writing that down, man. That's a new feature, man. Lee,
You know what? What's
pick
that?
like you pick some commentary thread on the comments.
Yes, I will do that. So yeah, maybe we
You can call it red light, green light. Red light, green light.
That's right. Yeah. So I got to get this set up, but I'll do it right now. But tonight's giveaway is basically again from our friend from Defend the Queen, Adam. We appreciate everything you do for us here, man. And we decided that we're gonna do just dealer's choice. So instead of having a picture to choose from, you get to pick from the gallery and you get to choose what you want. And
Nice.
so yeah, so why not make it hashtag
Chipotle. Yeah, we need to record this and send this over to him and maybe get him to sponsor us a little bit.
Yeah, that's a good one. Actually, we do hashtag Chipotle, and you might want to put that back in, man. I just got it set up. So
how did you pronounce that, Lee?
Chipotle.
Okay.
I don't know how you say it.
Oh yeah, sure. That's how you say it.
That's how you say it.
Oh, sorry. Oh, I didn't mean to put that up there, but that's so true. Anyway, sorry. I was just reading
Aluminium, Vaughn.
Aluminum. So yeah, again, if you're new here, hit the sub button for us. If you're an old school OG, just hit the like button. We appreciate that. So, anyways, to the show, man.
This is the show already.
I know already. We're doing it, man. Yes. Anyways, 2-2. I will say the first half of that game, I was pissed. I was not so much that we let those goals, how the goals went in. It was more of how we were playing that first half. Everybody kind of was like, well, it's the wind. It's the wind. However, I still think we come out too flat, or too slow at the beginning. Maybe the first 15 minutes we might have been all right, but it was just and then we had two great opportunities to score and we didn't. So Vaughn, man, go ahead and break that down for us, man. What do you think?
My thoughts differ a little bit on the game. I felt that we imposed our style more than we have as the road team. I thought it was a really unfortunate 2-0 halftime score. Nuno Santos had his opportunities. He just didn't convert them. And I'm sure we're going to dig into that a little bit later. In terms of having composure in front of goal, whether that's composure in your shot, whether it's composure finding your teammate. There were opportunities for us to find some goals in that game. The opening goal, it's disappointing. In this, what was it, the 6th minute that Bernadeschi hit his Olympico, absolutely aided by the wind. There's not a lot to analyze there, right? Like what's to analyze is be like, yeah, we should have had somebody on the far post. Mark should have gotten a finger to it. That's about what there is there. And then ultimately, it was disappointing to concede late in the half. And that's something that I do want to dig into and maybe also have a little bit of dialogue about is, we're adjusting as the season goes on to having the right mentality. Right now, we are still giving up a lot of goals early in halves, giving up a lot of goals late in halves, and struggling to get those ourselves. So 6 of our 11 goals have been in the last 5 minutes and stoppage time of halves, and 8 of our 11 have been in the first or last 6 minutes. So that's an issue. Now, the good thing is, yeah, JT.
No. I was just going to ask: do you think that's indicative of the continual mix-up from Lattanzio? That that this is the first time that certain combination is starting on the pitch, and because of that, it takes him. Literally warming up your legs, but then warming up to, all right, he plays this way, he plays that way, whatever. Now we don't have Bronico in the middle. Now Lindsay's here. Whatever it is.
Yeah, I think it's the mental side of the game, right? Like with the goals that are happening at the end of halves is like just not closing it out. Like you're either getting physically tired or mentally tired. You're making those simple errors that you're giving things away. And I think right now a talking point that I know I've hit on is these players being played out of position to start the first 3 games. Guys aren't in their comfort spots. And guys are having to get accustomed to being in those new roles. And hey, I'm receiving this ball, just like when Byrne let the ball roll under his foot in that other game. Was like, okay, he hasn't had a million reps at center back, right?
I'm going to hold it right there, though. But the ball to roll underneath your foot doesn't matter where you are on the pitch, in my opinion. That's just a lack of mental.
Agreed. Like he's a professional soccer player. He needs to be able to keep the ball in front of him.
But at a high level, not the highest level, but my gosh, they're being paid well. But whatever.
Right.
Professional baseball players get nutmegs all the time. Whatever.
But your muscle memory isn't there, right? Like if you're in a new spot, you're thinking about 2 or 3 different things that's different than what you're accustomed to. You're not free flowing. Your body's not just operating off of what it's used to doing. It's You're in between 2 thoughts. And so I think that's some of what we've seen here. Like as the season settles down, as these guys get more consistent minutes, as Lattanzio settles into who his preferred starting 11 is, as guys know, hey, I'm going to train all week this week at left wing, and I'm actually going to play left wing, and I'm comfortable at left wing. When that happens, you're going to see fewer and fewer of these mistakes. You're going to see more confidence on the ball. You're going to see more goals happening. And I think the team has already talked about that. I think they're having to just now settle into the season a little bit.
Yeah, I get what you're saying about playing out of position. I don't know if that's, there's a lot of reasons, right? Some injuries, Lattanzio not being happy with who he's got, I guess, at his disposal, right? But the difference between right back and center back is not that much different, at least if we're talking about the ball rolling under the feet, right? You could easily stop that ball and clear it. I just think it was elementary. I mean, that's the
But
stuff.
you could also sometimes use it to your advantage, right? Like Juzviak in this game on his assist, he was able to make a first touch hit across the box for his cutback to Bender that was
Yeah.
on his preferred right foot. When he's playing on the left wing, he cannot hit a ball with his preferred foot into the box in that same manner,
I mean,
right? So that play opens up and becomes available because of that comfort level.
yeah, but
You're-
I mean, I think it's a little different though, and we don't have to argue this too much, but just to the point of
Bullshit.
Jozwiak is attacking and going forward, right? I mean, a defender, your job is just basically to clear the damn ball out the way, right? I mean, worst case, right? Obviously, we try to play possession ball and hold it up and pass it around, but I mean, he didn't really have that much pressure on him when he had that issue, you know. But I mean,
True,
I guess
true.
we're getting away from the Toronto game as well, right?
Yeah.
So back to the Toronto game. I mean, again, first half I was pissed. I was tweeting. I was upset. I was angry because it's like being disappointed in your kids, right? You know that they can do better. They're just not performing to what you expect them to perform and know
No,
that they
hustling.
can perform to. Yeah. I mean, again, right? The goals,
Hustle. I know you can
first
move
one, I
faster
mean,
than that.
okay, right? It was the win. The second one, you kind of know, but I mean, I don't know, man. It's like, why on set pieces are we giving away so many goals? It wasn't just against Toronto, right? I mean, we seem to be having this issue most of the season, from what I'm seeing, right? We just lack concentration at the back. You know, I don't. And again, it could be players. This is when I think players out of position come into play, right? Because they're not used. The back four is not stable enough. And Marks is just he's only been in there 3 or 4 games, and just trying to learn how each other plays, right? And I just think communication and being a little more aggressive. I mean, there was one time, you know, the club actually posted on Twitter, right? Mark's double save. But if you look, there's like 4 or 5 defenders just standing there waiting for that second shot. And it's like, why are we ball watching?
Well, and I think that's it too. I think it's needing to get maybe a little bit more physical. Like that was my concern, or what I didn't like on the 2 set pieces was we weren't bodying guys off the ball. We weren't getting into that gamesmanship side of set piece defending. And so it just felt really soft. Like especially the Michael Bradley one. Like we were praying that we were going to get that VAR check and that it was going to go in our favor, but it would have been soft. Like we didn't deserve in that situation for that to ultimately get turned over. So I'd like for us to just be a little bit stronger in that defense and get bodies on the guys, get them out of the box. Like that was the other thing. Everybody was packing into the 6. Like we could have stepped up, tried to get them into a higher line, force an offside off of the corner, and we didn't. And I didn't see a lot of pushing, shoving, jockeying. It just kind of was like, let's wait for this ball to come in and see what the wind does. And it just felt risky. It felt really risky.
Because they were trying to stay warm, man.
I mean, the wind.
I bet they're out there that, like, you know, some people wear the gloves, some people got the long sleeves on and everything. They're like, man, it is cold as balls out here right now. They got together real quick. They're like, oh man, I'm just gonna come on. It's cool. We'll just stay here. And that's why they didn't do that shit. I'm serious.
Yeah, I mean, the wind. I'm not knocking that the wind didn't play because the wind looked brutal, right? You could see it when goal kicks were sent long or whatever, or long balls. It just basically just stopped and dropped, right? So there's no doubt the 2 goals and the wind wasn't a factor. My point is we shouldn't have given them those corners to begin with, right? I feel like it was a little lackluster defending. You know, some clearing the ball, just booting the ball away every now and then is not a bad thing to do, or like kicking it out for a throw in or something. Just give you time to reset. But anyways, the first half I was really pissed about. You know, I kind of went off I had a little temper tantrum on Twitter. I did have a few beers in me, so you know, it was, you know, and then obviously, you know, being a little social with everybody, I wasn't really paying a lot. I mean, I was watching the game, but it wasn't like sitting at home by yourself and you're really into it, right? Second half, though, his boys came out and they showed us what they got, right? If we could be that team week in and week out that we were that second half, man, we would take the MLS by storm.
100%. Yeah, I mean, it was good that we played progressively. It was good that we got the early goal in that half. I think we were in the 51st minute, so like 6 minutes in. So we gave a taste of the medicine back, right? Like you get the early half goal and you change the belief in the team too, right? Like
Yes.
it's two-sided. You get more belief that you're going to get that extra goal,
Right.
and you also put that seed of doubt in the opponent of, oh my God, we have to now protect a 1-goal lead for 40 minutes. And Toronto did not do well. Like we took it to them. And I think the same thing. There was 3 points to be had in that game. Like we could have kept doing some things, and I think would have had it. But also credit to we talked about that defending and the effort.
Malanda, yeah.
Malanda saved the game. Malanda
Yeah.
straight up saved the game with an unbelievable tackle, an unbelievable recovery, stopping Bernadeschi.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that kind of was upsetting to me was like when we had corners in the second half, we wasn't knocking it in the box, right? We were playing it short and trying to be fancy and all that. I just think it was the wrong sort of environment to try to be tricky, right? I mean, it would have been I would have just whipped it in the box and see what happened, right?
Bender had 2 shots on frame off of corners. Like he got 2 that Johnson had to parry over the bar, and another one was easier for him to handle. But like Bender was doing that, and then they mixed it up. Like what I did like is they did have a corner where they played it short, so that then like you keep them honest. They don't know what's going to come. They have to kind of defend a little bit differently, and they tried opening them up for the game. So I didn't have an issue with our corners in the second half. I thought we were actually more threatening than we have been on set pieces there.
So back to the first half, Nuno had
we had
2
the
great
win with
chances.
us. Hold on, just real quick. We had the win with us in the second half too. I mean, let's not discount that. It was to our advantage, not our home turf. So we couldn't practice on it in the past. But nonetheless, we also had that advantage. And I just want to say, don't forget, old Ben Benny, he cut them locks, man. He says it's gonna be anti-Samson. Cut them locks, got that stuff not free flowing, and
But
got
can
it.
he cook? Can he cook though is the question.
I don't know.
So, but yeah, going back to the first half, right? Nuno, he had 2 great chances, right? I mean, I've been debating with Top Ben all day today and Caleb as well about if he should have laid that off to Vargas or not, if he should have stayed selfish and kept the ball and had the shot or pass it off. I finally gave in. I was kind of like, it was one of those 50-50 deals, right? You either take the shot, and if it goes in, you're the hero. If you pass it off and Vargas misses it, it's going to be questioned, why didn't you keep the ball, right? But looking at the replay back, I think the best option would have been to play Vargas, especially since he was outside the box when he shot. But I also think Nuno had, even though the defender was coming in on him, I felt like he had plenty of time to take maybe 1 or 2 more touches before he shot the ball. So to me, it looked like he scuffed it, and he was kind of in, going back to that mental thing, like, hey, do I pass it or do I shoot? And then he just screwed it all up.
Yeah, I mean, the good thing is he was in that position, right? Like he got himself into a dangerous spot. And also the team got that ball. I think Bender was the one who initially hit that ball to him. I don't remember which chance it was that Bender got the ball to him. But point being is Nuno got into the dangerous spot. He needs to put it on frame. Like if he's going to take the shot, you got to challenge the keeper.
Save, right? Yeah.
Minimum. Because even that, Vargas is there, right? If you force him into a difficult save, maybe Vargas is able to get the rebound. So a lot of things could have happened. Basically, the worst case scenario happened, which is he took the shot and it went totally wayward. Was destroyed a dangerous situation. So yeah, we can debate, should he have made that extra pass to Vargas? I agree, he probably should have. But if he's going to take the shot, he's got to put it on frame, and he knows that. He knows that. That's going to happen. That's going to come. What's promising is that he's getting into those dangerous areas and dangerous positions. Because we saw in the first 3 games that wasn't consistent, us getting those opportunities inside the 18-yard box, and also getting those on transition moments. Like we were forcing turnovers high upfield. We were getting dangerous in transition. We were forcing Toronto to make mistakes. Like how many times have we seen other teams' backlines make mistakes against us? It has not happened a lot. So I think our press was a lot more effective here.
Yeah, and I mean, of course, we can't take the opportunity and score on those mistakes. But like Alex is saying, he feels like he's the minority, but still believe in Nuno. I believe in him.
I believe in him. Yeah.
I think he just needs more playing time, right? Because I mean, to be fair, I don't think he's really had a chance. I mean, he came in towards the end of last season, didn't get much playing time, and then this season he hasn't 2 games maybe, and but the problem is now Carroll's back and those boys, right? And it's like, is he going to be in there, right? I don't know how the lineup's going to be this week coming up, but I just feel like he's just going to get bumped, and I said it last night. I think his best bet is to go down to the legacy and get some games under the belt.
Well, but that's a great segue because I know we weren't going to leave the Toronto game right now, but at the same time, what is going to be the consistency, especially with Carroll back, to our next game and starting lineup? It's like, hey, if we can play as good as we played in the second half or the previous game, Lee, you said like the last 3 minutes or whatever. Well, what the lineup was that? Can we have that same line? Even I know people get subbed in at the end and all that kind of stuff, but at the same time, what is the most consistency we can have for Saturday night? Not to mention 9:30. That's like number. I got my numbers, y'all. What is 9:30? Like number 6 or something. But man, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. I'm an old man. I'm an old man. But I'm telling you, that's gonna be rough. Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, I mean, we haven't had our strongest 11 available all season, right? And it's just, and then obviously Latanzio's kind of tinkered around with positions and that sort of thing. Vaughn, man, what do you think about the starting 11 again? It's Real Salt Lake, man. I mean, they're coming off of their 4th game they've lost in a row or 3rd game they've lost in a row. There's seems to be a lot of people were screaming for their coach's head, and it's nobody really seems to, at least from that side of the fence, seems to be confident about this week's game.
Oh no, our RSL's in a tough spot. They're on a 4-game losing streak, and it's their worst streak since the beginning of the 2019 season. They have back-to-back games where they've lost 4-0. They're not scoring. They've got 3 goals on the year. They're leaky in defense. I think they've given up 13 goals against. So they have a league worst -10 goal differential. This is an opportunity for us to go in and get a team and kind of kick them while they're down. What they haven't done is what we have done, right? Like these past 3 games for us, we've gotten a result. We've found a way to get points. Right now, they have not found ways to get points. So it's a perfect time for us to meet up with them because I think they are, as a fan base, as a team, they're lacking confidence. Pablo Mastroeni, who's their head coach, he was talking in a press conference after training, basically being like, our guys are getting antsy and they're opening up. So they're having the same issue of early season, not finding the right mix of players, not getting free flowing, kind of not being patient and trusting the game plan. And it's leading to them having a negative stretch of form. So for us, we need to take advantage of that.
This is a valid point.
Time out. What's the name of the coach for Salt Lake?
Pablo Mastroeni.
All right, man.
An MLS legend.
I know,
Stupid
man.
JT.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, Sean hits it right here, right? I mean, a desperate team can sometimes be dangerous. My hope is that we go in there, we score early, we get in their heads with that, right? And then we actually show up and play. And I think that's really all we need to focus on, right? I mean, they got rid of their forward. They basically, I forget his name, but their forward, right? They basically let him go, right? And so who's
Sergio Cordoba?
Yeah, I think their center back is their top goal scorer, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Justin Glad has 2 of their 3 goals.
Yeah, so I mean, it's like a lot's falling. The world's blowing up around them for sure. They seem to implode or be imploding. It's just, unfortunately, in my life, all my teams that I support were on this cuff, and it's like, well, this team's in this most shit form of their life, and then the team I support shows up, and then it changes around. Not saying that Charlotte's going to do that. I'm just saying I'm just used to it, right?
Don't you put that on us.
I'm not putting it on there. I'm just
put
putting
that
it
on
out
us.
there. But
No.
I
Here's
will
the
say,
No.
I will say I have wore this top 4 weeks in a row, and we are undefeated in 4 or 3.
No, dog. No, none of that. No.
All right. X-nay on the XA or whatever it's right.
Yeah,
What are you
yeah.
gonna say, Vaughn?
Well, remember, we're also having gone 3 games undefeated. I want to look at the little bit of positive there.
Oh,
That
100%.
match last year, our longest stretch of games where we went, getting points was 3 games in a row at the end of the season. That was the stretch against NYCFC, Chicago, and Philadelphia.
So,
So
man, there's a lot on the line for both teams.
now we need to turn the draws into wins, and
Yep.
we need to do some things. But our road form has been great.
I know it's complete reverse from last year.
Our first 2 games, we scored the opening goal on the road. That is a really good sign. This game, we fell behind 2 goals. We fought back and came back and earned points against Toronto. And we were the better team. Period.
Yes.
I don't think there's much debate there that through the entirety of the TFC game, we were the better team. To go there and do that on the road at this point in the season with all the adversity we've already had to face, all of the changes we've already had to make, that's a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's it, right? I mean, we definitely did a 180 on our road games this year compared to last year. I know it's still early days, right? But it's positive. Now, if we can just bring that back to the bank and do the same thing, that would be awesome too, right? But looking
100%.
at the league though, I mean, we're only like 1 point out of 7th or 6th place, right? So a win, 3 points could really push us up there. You know, obviously the results around us have to go our way too, but right. But you know, the East, just looking at the East compared to the West, I mean, the East is stacked and it's very, very competitive. And right now it's anybody's game, man.
Well, and these teams, they're gonna beat up on each other too. It's a long season. It's a game of stretches. That was another thing that Pablo Mastroeni said. He's like, the teams that are good, the teams that are fighters, they turn it around, right? And so they find ways to fight through those challenging moments and come out the other side and go on an inverse streak. So we've already done that. We've already done that.
Yeah.
That's a really good sign. We're only going to continue to build from here. I'm excited for this RSL game personally, because I think it's an opportunity for us to really build some confidence for ourselves too.
Yeah, and I mean, I like hearing what Lindsay was saying the other day, talking about mental grit and all that other stuff, right? I mean, Bronico pushes that mindset or grindset or whatever, right? And it's true. I mean, the team, if we had been 2-0 down last year, right, we pretty much knew the result, right? But no, the boys are getting in, and Latanzio's giving them chances too, right, to come out afterwards. I mean, the Atlanta game, I think I would have subbed a lot quicker and just sort of like try to rip up the game plan and just redo that. But yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, man, the mentality of these guys seem to be a lot different this year than it was last year, and that goes a long way, right?
I just want to see more consistency in the starting lineup, and I understand the reasons why for the most part. And so I'm assuming Bronico is going to be back. This is one of my hopefully learned questions for you, Vaughn. What effect was the effectiveness of our midfield without Bronico there?
I mean, I thought it was effective. I've said that I think one of Latanzio's challenges with this midfield congestion he's got is he has shown a lot of trust and a lot of faith in Brandt Bronico and in Derek Jones. And by trying to force them onto the field, it's creating a lot of competition, but it's also creating a lot of roster congestion. In this game, I thought Derek Jones played very well in midfield, cutting out a lot of he had quite a few interceptions. He played a pretty clean game. There weren't a lot of bad giveaways. We saw him protecting the ball a little bit better than he has in some other games. And in front of him, I think, Nuno Santos, we said, had positive moments. Ben Bender had a great game.
Bender played well.
Yeah, he played with a lot of confidence, which is good for also a kid that I'm still going to refer to him as a kid. Like, he's still early career. And he's had to, we've had these debates of like, who's the odd man out in the midfield, and Bender kind of feels like he's been lowest on the totem pole, but he took the opportunity here. He's 1 week,
Right.
week removed from playing in a Crown Legacy game. Now he's stepping onto the field in Toronto and having opening his account for the season, getting on the score sheet, being effective, being helpful to other teammates, playing two ways, like he was doing a lot of defensive stuff as well. So yeah, I thought it was really positive in the midfield. I don't think really we missed Bronico a lot.
No, I agree with that. I mean, that's why I was saying earlier about Nuno's going down to the Crown Legacy. It might do him some good to have a game or two there and then kind of come back. But
I don't know that he's got the flexibility to go down there. Like there's players that are like delegated as like they can have that free movement between
I thought they
Legacy
could
and the
drop
first
down
team.
for X amount of games, or was that come up for X amount?
Interesting.
The MLS rules.
I'd have to look. Yeah,
That's a,
I don't
that's a
remember.
deep level.
But let's talk about some of the players, right? I mean, everybody's been riding Jaws' ass for a bit. I mean, if you get into the toxic Facebook group, right? I mean, but to see him come out and play, I mean, he had a great game, right? And if we could see that more consistently with him, I mean, he's going to prove all these doubters wrong. And I know he's got the DP tag, but I mean, we could essentially buy him down out of that, right? He's not really a top dollar DP, right?
Maybe. Actually, I don't know anymore because Tom Bogert just had a article on MLS Soccer talking about the status of rosters and how teams' flexibility looks like, and he was making it sound like we cannot buy any players down currently. So it's possible
Really?
he knows something that we don't. Yeah. There's something.
I thought he was
something's
just
going
over
on.
the cuff. Yeah, I thought he was just like right over the cuff of.
He may
being a
be,
DP.
but that doesn't mean that there are dollars remaining in the budget to be able to afford to do so.
That's fair.
Don't know.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, Zoran, if
so-
you're watching, could you just put it in the chat if we have the budget to buy down Jaws if we wanted to? That would be great. Thank you, Zoran.
But if Juzwiak plays to that level, if he's can get back to playing on the right side and being effective in that way, he's fine. He's good. I don't have an issue. Keep playing like that. He won.
Yeah.
He was what was it, team of the match day or whatever they're calling it now. I don't know why they changed it from team of the week to team of the match day. But Juzwiak was really solid. Goal and an assist. Finally opened his account. Long overdue.
I was going to go over there. It's not to interrupt you, right? It was good to see players running into the box looking for those balls on those kind of
Yes.
crosses. Normally, the ball comes across and there's nobody there to, So I mean, there's so many positives for that second half that again, if we can come out and play like that, often, I think we would be good.
Well, and the other thing to note, I said like what we really needed to see from this team. I didn't care who it was. Is we needed goal contributions coming from wide areas, whether that was coming from our wingers or whether that was coming from our outside backs. And right now, Harrison Offal and Jalen Lindsey and Kerwin Vargas and Camille Juzwiak are all finding the score sheet with consistency. For Offal and Lindsey, they have already matched the run of play goal contributions of our fullbacks from last season.
Yeah.
It's
It's
massive.
good to see Lindsay.
Yes! Let's go! Let's go!
JT said before the show started, he didn't have much energy.
Well, shit. Listen to Vi Pullman, man. Come on now.
Yeah, man, I think it was
Got me fired up.
I think it was the comment about the wild thing before we got going that really kind of got JT pumped
Woke him up.
there.
Oh,
Yeah, it
that's
did.
right.
Man. Yeah. Got his old
Right,
brain
Ricky
kind of get all the
Wild
dust out of
thing.
there, oiled it WD-40. But I mean, seeing Jalen come in and play well is really
Yes.
good, man. He's a good kid. I still call
Number
him
8.
old. He's just got a great family and all that. But he's a Charlotte boy too, right? So to see him play and play well, I mean, hell, he set up Enzo's goal the other week too, right? So it's just that's good. And then Offal, he's doing great on left back. And Vargas, man, I think has been one of the better players this season since he came in. He's
Not only
got-
for this team in the league, like in the league,
Yeah.
his
right. That's what I'm getting.
his
at.
attacking play has been very good.
And I have been bitching about like we're scared to take on a player and we always pass it back. But since he's started doing that, since he came in, he's been doing that. But I see other players now willing to do it as well. right? So it's very interesting. But yeah, I mean, Vargas, man, Vargas is, in my opinion, undroppable right now.
Absolutely, for sure. And
Yeah.
Juzviak, you have to give him another game there at the right
Yeah.
wing. You
Yeah.
can't take him off after that.
Right.
I got
Go
a
ahead.
TO on this because this is number 3 on my list of things. So we call him Jaws because speaking American English.
I
we
just can't
see
say
him-
anybody's last name unless it's like
I
Smith.
know, but we've been calling him Jaws forever, and Jaws the movie, and whatever. It's a great name. I've heard Yoziak, different ways of pronouncing it. So do we stay with Jaws and just be America, or do we start calling him Yos? Like Yos. Like if I see him, be like Yos.
It's
But I mean,
huge.
It's huge, then it won't work.
Huge.
It's gonna be Jaws. Be like Jaws. It's gotta be
Yeah,
Jaws.
I like Jaws, man.
It's
especially if he
huge.
gets-
Huge.
Yeah, if he gets gritty,
Huge.
right? If he gets gritty. So yeah, just a reminder, hashtag Chipotle if
And don't forget to sub it up.
you want to enter the giveaway. Dealer's choice from Adam, our friend at Defend the Queen. So yeah, I mean, I call him Jaws. I just think, and
I
especially
think
as
it's
much
great
of a
too.
gritty player he is.
I just wanted to bring it up.
I know. So I was answering your question.
That I know. Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you very much, Lee.
All right, we done here?
No, we aren't. I want to know one thing,
Oh,
Lee, and
what's
I
that?
want to know it right now.
Yep.
Where is Roscoe?
Dude, I've put out feelers for
NASCAR
Roscoe.
season has started, and NASCAR and MLS kind of mold together. We got
I have
all
put
the seasons
feelers out for
over
Roscoe.
NASCAR. You got
I've
it all
got-
behind you.
The last I heard was there's a possibility, a strong possibility, and when I say strong, I'll say 75%
Ooh,
that after our next home game against Colorado, I believe it is, he might be calling in to that live show, whatever day that is, like the 17th or something around there.
wow.
Ross, Colorado.
Rest-
You heard it here first. Ross, Colorado.
yeah. So yes,
Hanging out at Red Rocks,
yeah.
jamming out.
Yeah, that's it, man. So we'll see. You know, I know he's been in and out of court apparently. So we'll see.
Man, don't disparage Roscoe. You don't
What do you
know.
mean? It was about something to do with Jimmy and his wife. There was a whole thing, man. Like you got to really go back and listen
That
to
is
it.
true, though. He might. No, that's the thing. If he calls in and it starts off with like, "Do you accept the collect call?"
Oh,
Most kids don't even know about now, and it's from
Yeah.
like a county jail.
wouldn't that
And then
be
it
fun?
says, the name. Do you accept the collect call, Roscoe? And then that would be the best. Roscoe, if you can
Yeah.
call from jail, I know it. Yeah, that'd be great.
Apparently, they got free cable there and internet, so they might be watching. So shout out to Roscoe.
Yeah, shout out, man.
Yeah. So I mean, again, what going back to this week's game, Real Salt Lake's struggling. We seem to be moving on up, if you will. Again, I wore this shirt when I first wore this, it was against Orlando. We haven't lost since. So like I'm gonna wear this all season if I have to.
Have you washed it?
No, I haven't. Like I'm so superstitious, man. Like I promise you, like I will not mess with this shirt until we lose, and if we should lose. But if not, don't get too close to me around July because it'll probably be, I could maybe hit some Febreze on it or something. I don't know.
Once there's a
Hopefully
few
it just
layers of
smells
beer
like
shower.
beer. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Febreze underneath.
Yeah. So I mean, what's the game plan? We just come out and attack, go crazy, hope we get a goal real quick. Vaughn, what do you think?
I think we play front-footed.
Yeah, we have to, right?
Yeah, like don't play like you're the road team. Play with possession, and more of the same that we saw in the second half. Really, I still say even what we saw in the first half. We just got to play progressively. That's another thing that we've done very well the past few weeks is really try to get the ball forward and be attacking and try to create and get the ball into dangerous areas and have balls going across the box and making runs into our 18 and don't make individual errors. Like just play a clean game. Don't hand the game to the opponent. And so I think we've been trending in that direction, and that's got to be the mindset is guys, just keep plugging, keep doing what you're doing, trust it, and good things will happen.
That's right. So JT, man, you said you got a numbers between 1 and 18 tonight.
Yeah, 1 and 20. I actually wrote down some other stuff, but
All
yeah.
right. So last week I started from the beginning. This week I'm going to start from 20.
Oh, 20. Okay. So is my arm right here that's not seeing any sun at all wider than this hat?
Say that again.
Is my arm that has not seen any sun with my black t-shirt wider than this hat? I got a really pale arm, man. I'm making a joke on myself, damn it. Damn. That's why it's number 20. It's like the last thing I wrote down.
I couldn't remember. Maybe it was all right, fine. Pick a number, man.
The answer's no. Now I was just like this shirt's riding up a little tight. I'm like, good Lord.
Oh man, you've been working out.
Man, I'll be working out every day. Cut.
Pick a number.
Let's go with 5.
5. Oh, 5. Let's see, Vaughn. I think I already talked about 5, but let's see. Yeah, I did. Sorry.
Go one
Let's
down.
go with 3.
18.
Let him pick the.
I like picking numbers, man. I want to call bingo, man. I want to do a
great
bingo.
Guess. Love on 3. Gosh darn, we've already talked about that. That was the Jaws and Jose.
18.
No, it's still Vaughn's turn, man.
Vaughn, pick 18, man.
No, I'm going with Brant Bronico's 13.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, this is kind of it puts us back on track, actually.
Oh, well done.
What
Vaughn.
do you believe the lineup will be on Saturday? What do you think it really is going to be now that Carroll's back? At least the front 4, 3, whatever it's going to be. What do you think it's going to be, Vaughn?
The back 4 stays the same.
Yeah.
And the keeper.
Agreed. Yeah. No changes there. I think we go back to a 4-2-3-1. So I'd be sticking with the 2 being Jones and I still think it'll be Nuno. And the 3 line being Swiderski in the middle. I think he's finally going to go back to that. Juzwiak, Vargas, Capetti up top.
So you think this is going to be the first week where Latanzio technically drops Brant?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know, because I feel like Nuno. No, you're right. He'll probably pull Nuno off. Let's go with Jones and Bronico. It's not what I would do, but I think that's what he could do.
Yeah,
but I mean, but we saw that when Swiderski came on, like he went to more of a 4-2-3-1. So that's why I'm saying that.
Yeah,
nice.
I mean, it is. That's the tricky part, right? What?
Sorry, that's what you get here on CLTFC Fan TV for the fans, by the fans. Damn it.
What do we get?
Great insight from people like V.I. Pullman, Vaughn, bringing it, holding it down.
That's it. And so, I want to touch on this, right? So people were giving Carroll and Enzo. There was a really bad take on that I read about Enzo saying that, he doesn't deserve to be DP. He doesn't track. He doesn't do that. And that had to be the worst take I possibly could read, right? Because, I mean, if you go back to our last home game, I believe it was, I mean, Enzo is back there defending. He's clearing the ball. He's doing – and just because against Toronto, he didn't get he wasn't really getting much service to him per se, right? While everybody else was playing really good. I mean, he's doing other stuff, right? He's chirping in players' ears. He's playing that mental game. He's harassing the ref. He's just, and plus he's drawing other players open, like 2 or 3 players towards him, that gives these other players that we have the chance to score. I think when Bender scored, I think Enzo pulled a player or 2 over to his way and gave Bender the opening. So I really think, it's not obviously whoever scores the goal is going to get noticed, right, and all that fun stuff. But you have to watch the off the ball movement too. What do you say, Vaughn?
Yeah, I think it's ridiculous. I agree with you. The take is ridiculous. Latanzio will find a way to get the DPs on the field, period. Right. Like Enzo and Swiderski will get on the field. They need to be there together. I just don't see Carroll going out and playing wing again with how Juzwiak and Vargas were playing. I don't think you can keep him on the bench. That's going to start ruffling feathers if he's not getting minutes. So yeah, we'll see how it shakes out. But
I
absolutely,
mean, I disagree with this. I think Carroll starts. I mean, if he's healthy and able to play, he starts. The only concern I have really going into this game, to me, is the amount of yellow cards Enzo's already got. He gets one more, and I believe that's 5. And so therefore he would have to miss the next game, right? So
But
it
I was
will
gonna
come.
make I was gonna make that point about Enzo is like when you were talking about what he brings to the table and all that kind of stuff and drawing players off. I mean, his passion, yes. If we can just dial it in for MLS and what we need to do, the passion he's bringing and pulling people off and just bringing that energy is so fun to see. Not to mention the Quicksilver hair and the Enzo Capetti. I mean, he's great. He's great from just a fan standpoint. I love it so much. So hopefully, to your point, no more, arguing so much and getting in rest faces and all that kind of stuff. Because I don't think he's a dirty player, but he just, he comes from a different school and style and whatever.
I want him to do it, but I want him to do it in a different way. Like he needs to use it as a weapon. Like gamesmanship and working the ref is absolutely something that you can do. I think if he's more consistent in just staying on his feet, being that bulldog and picking his moments for that, he will get more of those gift calls and he will reap the benefit of that. And I think that's why Latanzio was saying, he needs to learn that because in MLS, it's a little bit different than play in South America. And he can get to that point. He will.
Dial it in.
Yeah. I mean, I love it. Like you said, use it a different way. Just, don't have the man change his game and the way he plays the game, right? Just use those to your advantage. Yes. So yes. And Enzo is adjusting. Now we just need to see him score on a turf field versus grass, right? That would
be
good
thing this week's on grass.
Yeah, that's right. That too. So yeah, I mean, I guess if he does get that 5th yellow come this week, I mean, next week we'll be at home and therefore it'll be on turf, and I guess Carroll will be our striker up top. So yeah, let's pick another number. Let's see. You guys out there in the chat world, they're out there in YouTube land.
What's left? We've gone through a lot.
Yeah.
We got 18. We got 12. We got 10. We got 7, 6, 4, and 2. 2, 4, 6, 7, 10, 12, 18.
4 for Utah.
4 for Utah?
Yeah, 3. There's 2 3s in there. We've already
there's 4 letters in Utah.
Is that what you're really thinking? Because is it the 4 corners? I think the 4 states touch right there in Utah. Anyway, geography, kids, geography.
More
oh, damn it! I'm sorry, Vaughn. I've already asked you.
18.
Well, this is interesting because it has an arrow down to Ricky Wild Thing, Vaughn, the vaunted VI Pullman. And it says Twitter Spaces. So I'm to understand a nomadic blogger. I think that's what you called yourself earlier. So Vaughn, the nomadic blogger, tell me what a Twitter Space is and how you're being in that space.
Well, so Wes Riley, who I think he may even be on this here. Yeah, there he is. There's Wes.
He said 12. 12 next, JT, for
12 next.
Coming up with Twitter Space.
He requested that somebody do a Twitter Space after this TFC game, please. He tagged a whole bunch of podcasts and myself, and I had I had enough Cheerwine ales in me after the TFC game to decide to give it a go. And so it's a live recording, and it was really fantastic. I had not done a Twitter Space before, but very fortunate to have, I think there were like 79 people that tuned in, had about 25 people all going at the same time, had Lloyd Sam jump on the call and participate, Lee, and we also had Michael from Southbound that jumped on the call and chatted for a little bit. Lissandro, scout from the team, he jumped in there. So it was really, really cool. So a lot of people are asking for more Twitter Spaces. So
it's on you to do it now, man. You've started now.
It's
So
my
we're gonna be
bag.
looking for it after every game.
Well, I think it's going to make the most sense to do it after the road games. The home games, it's going to be a little weird because people are not going to be there listening. They're going to be out and about in Uptown.
Right.
So I'll have to figure that out. But yeah, I need to figure out what I'm doing this weekend. Maybe there's a midnight special or something.
Midnight
nice.
special, man, like the Red District or something.
Talking about the midnight special.
Yeah.
No 38.
So,
12.
yeah, because Wesley put 12 in there.
What are our marks on Marks? We're assuming Clean is going to come back.
So a hot take.
Not coming back in. Marks, like we said, we haven't lost anything besides Vaughn. Right when I said we haven't lost, oh, there he is. So what's our marks on Marks?
I think hot take that Marks. I think he starts over Kalina when he comes back. I don't think Marks has done anything wrong since he came in. And I think personally it's Kalina's job to get, or Marks's job to lose is the way I would put it, right? I mean, I don't think Pablo is going to be ahead of Kalina. Once he's healthy enough to come back, I believe Kalina's going to be on the bench, and it's just going to be Marks's job to lose.
When is Kalina supposed to come back?
I saw him practicing today with the goalkeeper, so I mean he's getting close.
So theoretically,
I mean, since Marks has been in, we haven't lost. He's never lost an MLS game.
Say again.
Since Marks has come in, we've been on our unbeaten streak, and I believe, did he play last year? I think he did. He hasn't lost a game, an MLS game, anyways.
Knock on wood, man.
So I mean, again, it's Marks' job to lose. What do you think, Vaughn?
All right,
absolutely, yeah. No, Marks has given no reason to lose the spot. So Marks is going to be out there. He's been good on the ball. You feel confident he's going to get through 90 minutes. He hasn't been making mistakes until he gives the team a reason to not have him out there. You ride the hot hand. And I think also this is something that I wanted to comment on too is we have drafted or signed the past two NCAA championship goalkeepers. So I think the team also long-term wants to, whether it's for depth or even for the starting position, lean on that domestic talent. And so I think Marks is going to get every opportunity to take that role and make a really tough decision for the coaching staff and for the front office staff between him and Kalina. It would be a great thing if he can do that.
So and competition. Theoretically, that's a good thing in the locker room.
On Top in 90 show last night, that we had Jess from WFNZ, right, come on as well. And she made a valid point about why Marks is starting over Pablo and possibly will continue to start over Kalina. It's just his distribution, and he's more of that new style goalkeeper, right, where he can play with his feet as well, where with Kalina and Pablo, they seemed a little rushed or unsure of what they need to do or how to do it, right? So, I mean, again, I think Jess said this too. The way he can play with his feet makes up for his height disadvantage. So
100%.
That takes a lot into consideration too. So yeah, as far as I'm concerned, Marks is our starting goalkeeper. I was a Pablo fan, but ever since I seen Marks play, there's no way I would start Pablo over. You freeze?
Just to make a parallel with American football is the idea that he's a newer age goalie, which could be somewhat akin to a quarterback. He's a leader on the field, whatever. But the idea that because he's shorter, but he can move faster, it's just like Lamar Jackson and other quarterbacks out there in American football, and how it's just a new position. Like if you're more fleet of foot and can handle it better, then that is an advantage, although you might not be the classic taller, longer, leaner, knock it over the top post type goalie.
Well, and it's being able to play out of the back. It's being able to protect the ball in possession. Like he's not just being asked to boot it upfield. He's calmly able to, put his foot on the ball and wait for the right outlet.
I mean, he is 6'1", right? I looked it up, Tanner. He is 6'1". That's what it says on charlottefootballclub.com /players/George-Marks. So
If he's 6'1", I'm 6'7". Like, there's no way.
are you that tall?
No.
Yeah. Yes. So anyway,
I haven't gotten to pick a number.
hey JT, you want to pick a number? And while we're waiting for JD to pick a number, if you're new here, hit the sub button, and if you are OG and you haven't yet, hit the like button so you can get that algorithm flowing for us, man. We'd appreciate that. Go ahead, JT.
Great. Number. I don't actually think I wrote this down. Vaughn, I just want to know. Last time I saw you, it was right before the game. I guess a couple of games ago, home match, of course. You were gifted by a friend a VIP seat. Your normal seats are in the supporter section. A lot of us here on this and whatever, we're used to that point of view. What do you feel like this experience was as a fan in the really nice seats? And thank you to whoever helped you out with that or whatever, compared to the supporter section. I want a juxtaposition, or maybe it's just a compare and contrast. I don't know.
Yeah, it is night and day experiences, right? I've been lucky to be in a few different spots in the stadium. I've been in the supporter section. I've been in club level. I've been in standard seats. I've been in the vault, which is what
so you get around. You get around.
I get around. I want to experience the game in a different way. Have a few different ways of experiencing the game. But yeah, the vault is really cool. It actually reminds me a lot of games when I used to go watch other corner Sporting KC, where you can be near the cauldron. The cauldron is the equivalent of the supporters end for Sporting KC, and in the vault, where I was sitting at you're down on the sideline.
How's the view from there though?
The view is not great. Really not great. Can't see a lot.
So you're going to pay like 10,000 PSL, then buy the $3,000 a game ticket to not be able to see the game?
Yeah, but you go down there to feel the game, right? Like that's where it's different. It's like the players are walking out before the game. Like I literally have a photo where I'm 3 feet away from the Brain Trust. I mean, it's literally Tepper down there, Zoran down there, Thomas Schalling, Bobby Belair. Scott Fitterer is behind me having a conversation. Like you're bumping elbows and around and in that kind of that energy, and it's very different. And the players, you're right there and able to high five them as they're walking out on the field. You're talking to them as they're coming off at halftime and being like, "Hey guys, keep your head up. It's good," and high fiving them, and they hear you. So that is a very different kind of experience. But watching the game, when the ball is at the other end, you don't have a good vantage point to see how the ball is traveling or anything like that. But the feeling, the vibe of hearing and seeing the supporter section from outside of it is so cool. And getting to have that other experience of just being kind of feeling like you're part of the game is fun.
Nice.
And absolutely blessed to have that opportunity too.
Shit, we are all blessed. Hey, I think is tonight Passover? Was yesterday Passover? Whatever, whoever you believe in, whatever. Let's just all agree we are all blessed.
Agreed.
For the most part. I don't know. There might be someone out there, you never know.
That's not blessed.
I hope not.
Anyways, moving on from and an amen for JT. So score prediction. JT.
You know what I got to do because we haven't lost yet. So I'm going to go 2-1 Real Salt Lake.
That's a hot take.
Because every time I predict, whatever.
No. Just go with it. You went with it. That's it. Let's hear out there too. Yeah, in the comments, what you guys think. Vaughn, what do you think, man?
3-1 us.
Who scores for us?
Ooh, I think Kopetti gets one. I think Swiderski opens his account. And I'll go with Vargas.
Fair enough. And JT, you said one. What's the one? Who do you think scores for us?
Enzo Kopetti. Let's bring it back to the homeland.
Yeah. So I'm going to say 2-0, and I think it's going to be Vargas and Kopetti. So that's what I'm going with. So
What's
yeah.
the weather supposed to be like? I meant to
it's
look
actually
it
supposed
up
to be
earlier.
pretty nice from what I heard.
Okay.
So it's not supposed to be all snowy and cold. It should be like good football weather.
Yeah,
So
right.
yeah. But anyways, couple of housekeeping things.
We got to
We
give
are
away.
gonna, we need to work on this. We are talking about getting some scarves made and maybe some hats and some shirts, but it's just it's we really need to sit down.
Listen, we're getting special lamb's wool
Yeah,
from this little island in northern Ireland.
that's
And
right.
it's an old grandmother who's knitting together the scarves. It takes a little while, man.
Yeah, and it doesn't shrink in the wash. That's what's great about it.
No, it's soft, so soft and warm.
Yeah,
Just
and
for those hot thunderstorm days.
yeah, and just to give this guy a shout out, just because he tunes in every time and just trolls us everywhere. Esteban, we appreciate you, man. We really do. Yeah, but I want to call Esteban out though, because he's been trying to talk shit all show, and this is his prediction. Now, tell me what's wrong with this, folks. Anybody? We're not playing at home, Esteban. We're on the road this week, so there in your face. So yeah, a little bit. Yeah. So if I could do the Terry Henry meme that he always uses, where he's just kind of laughing or whatever he's doing, that's in your face. So yeah. And if you want to enter before we're about to wrap this up, we are about to do the giveaway and all that.
Wrap it up.
So, yeah. So last chance to enter. Let me go ahead and share this out.
Hey, number 7, real quick. One thing I'm gonna do, and to Vaughn's point about sitting in different areas and everything, I'm gonna try to bounce around and get just quick little interviews or little point of views of different fans' positions. I'm always in the supporter section during the games in the second half for sure. So I'm gonna try to get around and actually ask some questions during the game. That's gonna be a new thing I'm gonna try to do. So if you see me out there, that's what I'm doing for the most part.
Exactly. So here we go. We're gonna do the drawing. If you haven't already, go ahead and put it in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 2, 2, 1.
And it is
OFL podcast. Congratulations, my man.
Dealer's choice too. This is the best one ever.
For sure.
Dealer's choice.
It is. So get with Defend the Queen, or if you, I believe you know how to find him. Finally, yeah, it's not rigged anymore, man. That's it. So yes, rigged.
Things are turning for us.
Rigged. You know what? I've noticed I've never won anything actually.
Yeah, well, that's just kind of definitely shows you it's not rigged, because that's
I just don't enter.
It's just the way it works out for us, Lee.
100%.
I haven't won anything. Vaughn haven't won anything. I don't think. Anyways.
Yeah. I mean, we got you, man. We'll figure something out. All right. So, Vaughn, man, how can people find you?
At VI Pullman, which is there it is. Oh, there it is. At VI Pullman on Twitter. And yeah, I'm all around. You can find me somewhere. If you can't find me, just reach out. I'll be on here sometime.
Yeah, and if
Twitter space
over there with the Royals supporters group too at the home games for the most part, right?
Yep. QC Royals. I'll usually be by their purple tent. And yeah, I'll be around.
Oh! I think that's the last one. Did the QC Royals have any influence on the kit color? And I recorded that video clip of you on the pitch asking you a question about it. And that video clip got erased from my phone. We're going to use it tonight. And I swear to God, it's gone. Conspiracy theory, I don't know. But did y'all, whoever, have anything to do with it?
Not that I know, but sure. Yeah, we'll take credit.
I didn't know.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, right, you can find us at COTFC Fan TV on all the socials. And again, if you're new to the show, hit the sub. If you're OG, hit the like. Anything you want to add, JT?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, folks. Well, we'll see you when we see you later.